When I visited, for instance, with union organizers who were trying to organize high-tech workers at Microsoft, you see many of them are very angry at the Democratic Party and the Republican Party for selling them out. They feel that the Republicans answer to big business, and the Democrats have in part answered to big business too, on trade policy, on wage policy, on immigration policy. It's the same thing down with on the right, on the conservative edge of this uprising, because this is a right-left uprising. When I was with the California Minutemen, who I don't agree with what they're doing and what they're pushing for, but they diagnosed the issue, I think, pretty accurately. They say, look, both parties are bought off and want the existing immigration status quo to exist because they want a wage-cutting competition to the bottom between American workers and undocumented Mexican workers. That's absolutely accurate. And it was the Democrats, through President Clinton, who championed NAFTA after promising not to. So what we've learned here and what's happened here is I think the country at large has realized that the us versus them is a nonpartisan us versus them. And that if we progressives are going to channel this uprising, we have to have that movement psychology that says if we don't force both parties, and in particular our party, to create real change, not only are we not going to get real change, but we're going to lose elections, right? This is not a good policy is bad politics. We have the luxury right now of good policy, the policies that we want on every issue, being, for the moment, very, very good politics. This is why this moment, I think, is so important for progressives, why I think, all things being equal, this uprising is going to go in a progressive direction. Because we don't have to manipulate public opinion. The right has to manipulate public opinion. The right has to make people believe that cutting taxes for billionaires is good for working people, right? The right has to make people believe that staying in Iraq for 100 years or 1,000 years or 10,000 years, that's a direct quote from John McCain, is good national security policy. We simply have to go out and convince people that we're serious, that our party, that the Democratic Party, and our movement is serious about what we are or what we say we're for. We don't have to trick anybody. People want universal health care, they want a reform of NAFTA, they want higher wages, they want the energy companies better controlled, they want Wall Street better regulated. This is our agenda. So the only obstacle to that agenda is making sure that after this election, those in office who say they represent it actually represent it. Because if they don't, we have that 1976 to 1980 reminder of what happens. And none of us wants that to happen. Now, I'm not going to walk through each individual chapter of the book because I hope everybody here buys at least 10 copies. They make great gifts. But what I can say is I think with the book you'll find that it's first-hand reporting. I went out and tried to actually tell the story that people were telling me instead of making an argument about what I believe, although I acknowledge what I believe in the book. And what I tried to do is look at what is going on far away from what the national media tells us is going on.